This beautiful area around Monterey is jam-packed with all kinds of things to do, which is just one of the reasons we keep coming back. So here are some of our favorite things to do when we're in the neighborhood.
Oh, there! JP, did you see it? There, look, there!
The Monterey Bay Aquarium is always changing, always fascinating, and always worth a visit.
Let the feeding begin!
At the aquarium, the staff can introduce you to marine life that will charm and entertain you.
It's kind of like being on penguin vacation here. No predators and all you can eat.
And teach you about misunderstood denizens of the deep.
Sharks are really cool. You know, they're not our enemies.
This is May. You can actually
Meanwhile, at the sea otter exhibit, keeping the otters happy, healthy, and well-fed takes a bit of imagination.
It stimulates just their natural ability to use tools, manipulate their prey, just like they would out in the wild if they were foraging on shellfish.
While the sea otters have been captivating audiences for years, they now have some competition from their cousins, the river otters, featured in the aquarium's new freshwater habitat exhibit. The Monterey Bay Aquarium is a great place to get up close and personal with a number of amazing animals. But not too far away, there's a good chance to see some creatures out in the wild.
Welcome to Elkhorn Slough!
Elkhorn Slough is a wonderful sanctuary north of Monterey that meanders for 7 miles.
It goes back in here a long ways, and there's lots of wildlife all over the place.
Captain Jan Gideon leads 2-hour Elkhorn Slough safaris on this comfortable pontoon boat. Everywhere we look, we see something looking back. Lounging harbor seals, industrious shorebirds, and adorable sea otters who let us get pretty close. The Elkhorn Slough is one of the last remaining coastal wetlands in California. It's an important resting place for otters escaping winter storms at sea, and it's a vital stopover for migrating birds. By the end of our exhilarating 2-hour cruise, we've seen 63 sea otters, 219 harbor seals, and 38 different species of birds. Back closer to Monterey, there's a sanctuary of a different sort. Pacific Grove has taken quite a bit of care to protect its small-town way of life, and the way of life of some of its smallest and most determined visitors.
I see them!
Every fall, tens of thousands of monarch butterflies flock to this small stand of eucalyptus trees in Pacific Grove.
Wow, there's bunches and bunches of them.
They're at the end of an incredible migration that begins up to 2,000 miles away. These sturdy and beautiful little creatures have captivated the town. There are butterflies everywhere you look, on houses, on storefronts, even on the plates at the Monarch Cafe. And in October, some of the local children turn into butterflies. Kindergartners spread their wings in the annual Butterfly Parade, a Pacific Grove happening that started way back in 1939.
See, go right up the tree.
These trees were nearly replaced by condominiums. Ro Vaquero, otherwise known as the Butterfly Lady, helped rally the town to buy this property and protect it. Ro and the docents on duty during peak viewing times also impart some fascinating information about these remarkable insects.
And they fly 100 miles a day. They look so delicate, and they're not delicate at all. Monarch butterflies' wings are much, much tougher than the other ones, and they have muscles.
Perhaps the most astounding thing about monarchs is that the ones that come here are 5 generations removed from the previous year's visitors.
And so next September, as the chrysalis opens up in Canada, a new butterfly will be born, and that butterfly will say, wow, I have a message in my brain from my great-great-grandmother. I have to fly to Pacific Grove, California for my species to survive.
The butterflies start arriving in late October. By Thanksgiving, there can be as many as 40,000 monarchs here. They stay until early March, when their journey begins again. Pacific Grove is located about 2 miles west of Monterey along the coast. The Elkhorn Slough Safari departs from Moss Landing Harbor, about 20 miles north of Monterey. And the Monterey Bay Aquarium sits on Cannery Row, about 2 hours south of San Francisco. Once we've come all the way to Fort Ord, it's hard to resist continuing a little further south down the coast through Big Sur. That's one of my absolute favorite drives anywhere, and we're going to take it. Checking out some of my favorite stops along the way. We're going from Carmel to Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park and several places in between. Altogether, we'll be traveling less than 40 miles. Oh, this is where I always love to start my Highway 1 road trip. This is a Carmel River State Beach. Virtually have it to yourself most of the time. White sand, gorgeous water, and a spectacular view right over there of my first stop, Point Lobos State Reserve. An artist once called Point Lobos the greatest meeting of land and water in the world. It's hard to argue with that. With its rocky edges and inviting, tropical-looking lagoons, practically every perspective of Point Lobos could be a postcard. It's a place of refuge for humans and all sorts of other animals as well. From seals and otters to nesting night herons and a convention of cormorants. As we head south, the views along Highway 1 continue to unfold, each at least as beautiful as the one before it. Even the concrete Bixby Bridge, which first made it possible for automobiles to reach Big Sur, strikes a stately pose. And soon, another piece of history appears in the distance. Well, that's the beam of the Point Sur light station atop that volcanic knob, which is Point Sur. We're now 19 miles south of Carmel, and the light station has been in continuous operation since 1889. Oh, the only way to see it up close these days is on a docent-led tour, which I highly recommend scheduling. Fortunately, much of the land around here has been kept in either agricultural use or been preserved as open space, including this marvelous 7.5 square mile piece of wilderness, Andrew Malera State Park. Well, like these guys, I've been coming to Andrew Malera for many, many years. There's great hiking, biking, horseback riding, camping opportunities, secluded beaches, and the Big Sur River cuts right through it. Amidst the streams and forests, some people do live here. Well, we're entering the village of Big Sur now. It's strung out for about 5 miles along Highway 1. There are restaurants, motels, resorts, campgrounds, many different options, many different prices. And at the very end is the famous Henry Miller Library. The library was created to honor the memory and spirit of the area's most famous writer. The Henry Miller Library is part museum, part bookstore, and part community center, with a wide variety of cultural events.
It's a place where you can come in and get inspired.
There's inspiration to be found all over this region. Sometimes you practically stumble over it, as we do just a couple of miles south of the library. And then we stopped to admire the view of the Big Sur coast. It's really beautiful, and got an amazing surprise extra bonus right down below us here. Take a look. Some of the rarest birds in North America, California condors, fighting back from the brink of extinction. California condors, the largest land birds in North America, are slowly recolonizing this territory. We're extremely fortunate to see 8 or 10 of these magnificent creatures. That's about 1/3 of the entire Big Sur condor population. Oh, how cool is that? Oh my God. It's definitely worth stopping anywhere you can along this dramatic coast. And you don't want to miss our last stop at Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park. Take a short walk, go through a tunnel under the highway, and you'll find yourself in a magical world.
What a terrific scene, an 80-foot waterfall pouring off the granite down to a lovely secluded cove below. You know, you could travel all over the world and not find any place more beautiful than this. So for us today, this is the perfect spot to end our trip.